Welcome to Hanging Out with Robert, that's me. This video contains things that I encounter throughout the day. If for some reason I complete a task and you would like to see the details, you can click on the link in the description area below. This video also contains tips and tricks that I learned throughout the years. I plan on leaving this video accessible for about 30 days. After that, you can view it through my Patreon account. Thank you very much for watching. Back at Jack's. Kicking off the Tinker Day with your little flat wagon. Got to get a door and search for my tool I lost yesterday. I lost a Husky ratchet wrench. I don't know if I lost anything else, but that's what I couldn't find yesterday. So let's go down here to Volvoville, see if we can find that. I don't think it fell off the cart, but I couldn't find it in my tool bag, couldn't find it in my car, so it should be down here somewhere. Here we are at this 850, and I did find my ratchet. It was in the front seat under the seatbelt, totally hidden. So I got that. Next, I'm gonna get this door and get out of here. Crap, another thing I forgot yesterday is this keyhole here from this thing. So let me take this off and take that with me, and then I could get out of here. Last time I took this, I actually ended up taking the keyhole thing out of there, which I will confess now is a mistake. Don't do that. Just take the whole thing and paint it to match the car or leave it black, whatever. So I took the inner door panel off. I took the wiper arm off out there. I took the wiper motor assembly down. I unplugged the wiper assembly. I took 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts out. I unhooked this linkage here, and I think this thing will now come out. Oh, there's another linkage there. So let me see if I can get that linkage loose. It has a double hook on it, but it should pull out down there, so let me get up there, see if I can work that off of the outside. I'm gonna reach in there and pop that loose out of there. Then it should come loose. I dropped the inner handle down. I grabbed this bar that works the latch, pulled it out of there. Then I twisted it clockwise to get it out of there. Now I should be able to get this thing out of here. Looks like I really need to stick the key in it, but I don't have the key with me, so I'm gonna have to work it out there without the key, or I'm gonna have to go to the car and get the key. I went outside and worked it out from the driver's side, pulled it up, came in here, unplugged the lighting harness, and now it's loose. I think you're better off taking this as a whole assembly other than trying to get this out of here, because you have to do some weird hard prying and stuff to get this key mechanism out of there. I don't think it's worth it. Just take the whole thing. And we're ready to go. Let's bounce. Had to get another storage unit. It has some kind of stain in the floor. No big deal to me, but I don't want to be paying for it later. We are here with Byron's V70R. He said it's making a clunking and it feels like something's going on with the transmission. I think there's something going on with the suspension. So I took it for a little test drive, and if I had to guess, I would say tie rod ends are shot. So let me grab this wheel and see how they shake. Man, that's really bad. A lot of movement there. Strut's moving a little bit, the steering wheel's not loud, but feels like the control arm's really bad. Hey, move this jack, see if I get under there. It's got a jack stand on it. not sure how bad that is, the suspension, but when I look up here at the engine mount, there's a bolt totally out the front of the engine mount. The other bolt's missing. So I need to get this engine mount bolted back to the engine. So let me work on that. Maybe that'll make all this feel better. I guess that will be an issue too. Torque mount is totally loose. Bolts missing out of that. I need to figure that out too. Okay. Let me see what other engine mounts missing. Heck, the transmission is laying on the engine over there. I gotta make sure that bump stop is over there as well. Well, this is kind of a mess. Nobody in town has a control arm for this vehicle. And this control arm is really bad. Looks like this engine shifting around has got stuff pushed up against the firewall. I don't know if it's bending that stuff or not. But I'm going to go ahead and pull this charge pipe off, pull this fan shroud and fan out of the way, unhook everything from that, get under here, jack this engine up, and try to secure this front engine mount to the block. And then I'm going to try to secure that transmission mount to it. Let me get started. Look how saturated this blanket is, falling down on the engine from oil blow by or whatnot. So anyway, let me get to work, try to get this done in a reasonable amount of time. Some work I wasn't planning on doing. We're going to kick this off by cutting off these super duper long bolts on these clamps. I have no idea why somebody hadn't done that sooner. I'm going to cut those two about halfway down and then take this OTE pipe off. Had to take the throttle inlet pipe loose, that section there. Try not to unplug anything because those plugs are so sensitive. Now I can see this top engine mount is missing a bolt here. This bolt is falling out. So those threads are probably messed up and missing a bolt there. So I'm going to jack the engine up. I had to take the starter out to see this. So let me jack the engine up, pull this bolt out, find some matching bolts for it. Let me see what I can do for that and jack the engine up, get that back in place. Got this wiring harness unbolted from the top of the mount, and this mount is just totally loose. So I need to find a couple more of these bolts to bolt this thing back together. Jack the engine up just a little bit more. Make sure these bolts are in properly. Well, this is interesting. Top bolt's broken off. This bolt hole here is stripped. I guess it was being held on by one bolt. Let me try to get that one out somehow with an easy out setup, and maybe I can bolt this thing back together. If not, I'm gonna have to tap something in there and create a situation where I can put some kind of other bolt in there, because evidently 2 bolts in that wasn't good enough, and I don't know if maybe if that transmission mount was hooked up it would have held it. But let me see if I can get that out of there. Got that thing out. I hit it with my big punch wherever I put it. Put a mark on that screw that was in there so that I could get a drill bit started. You can see the mark that went off the side of it off. I punched it with that. Then I started a pilot hole with that 3rd small drill bit. Then I took a 7/64 bit. And man, that thing cut good. It cut down into that bolt about 1/4 inch. Then I took one of these small square bits, tapped it in there with a hammer, and put this on there and unscrewed it. Screwed right out. So I got 3 holes to screw in now. I don't know if they're all good, but I'm gonna put 3 screws in them. I know this one big bolt catches in that one hole on the driver's side. I'm gonna check the threads on this bolt and find 2 more bolts that match that and bolt that engine mount up there. So there it is with the square tapped in it. That's the bit I used. Got it out. Whoop whoop. I screwed one of those bolts in that hole and it went all the way in and left 3 threads showing. So I'm gonna see how thick the bracket is. I might have to get a bolt maybe a little bit shallower than that. So we have a problem. This top bolt screws in, but these other 2 bolts, those holes are stripped. So I need to tap a larger hole in there and then get 2 new bolts to go in those larger holes. Somebody stripped them out somehow. It appears that the next size up is 1/2 by 20. So that's where I'm going with this. Getting ready to put the ratchet on there, drive it in there till it stops. Then go get 2 1/2 bolts with 20 threads count. All right, it's about time for Elizabeth to go to work. And I need a car. So I gotta clean out my car and take her to work. So I need to put my tools up because I gotta go take her to work and I'm not done. Then I gotta go get some screws to try to fit these new tap sides I tapped. So I'm kind of messed up here, but it's just gonna eat up the rest of my day. I need to put my light on the charger and put these tools away. I'm at kind of a jam point on this car. I need bolts. I don't have time to get them before I have to take Elizabeth to her second job. However, I contacted that Red Angel refrigerant stop leak company, and I believe they sent me another can of that stuff. So I have time to try this again. So here we are, folks. Round 2, trying to get the stop leak. Looks like none is leaking out this time. It's sucking down the refrigerant, but it is not blowing cold in there. It finally did start to blow cold, but not as cold as usual. So we'll see how long this stop leak lasts. Hopefully, I'll be good to go. After taking Elizabeth to work and running around looking for hardware, which was not successful, I ended up ordering some hardware and a drill bit off of Amazon, which should be here Sunday. So we'll see how that works, and I'll try to get this car finished up on Sunday. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.